another discussion or narrative that I've been seeing, especially after this start, is Shota Imanaga. This is the guy that started today. He went 7 scoreless innings for the Cubs, who are eliminated from the playoffs, by the way, after the offseason they had. But people were saying, hey, maybe the Dodgers should just sign this guy. It seems like he was healthier. He's made more starts. He's looked really good, and the Dodgers need to win right now. I argued, with especially internally with the people that were making this discussions. I was like, look, Yamamoto, higher risk, greater reward. He's 25 years old. The Dodgers signed him to a 12-year deal. They know they're in this for the long haul, and I know people don't want to hear that, but if they don't put it all together this season, they have him for 11 more seasons. But I'm interested to see your debate with Imanaga versus Yamamoto, especially considering the Dodgers' goals and where they do want to win a championship either this year, next year, or the year after that. Do you still think they made the right choice for Yamamoto? I'm assuming you're going to say yes.
Well, I've written articles on both of them. I've been following both of those guys, along with Roki Sasaki also. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. 2 years ago, I was in Dodger chats and podcasts. Asking the host, hey, what do you think of Roki Sasaki? And they're like, oh, who's that? You know, uh, so as far as Imanaga, I was kind of hoping that the Dodgers would pick up both of them, but I always thought the Dodgers were going to go off of Yamamoto. Yamamoto's career in the NPB was way better than Imanaga's was. Uh, the, the big the big knock on him was in the MPB is he gave up a lot of home runs, which you kind of saw when the Dodgers played against when he plays against the Dodgers this year. I mean, that was the Imanaga that I knew. Um, the Cubs series against the Dodgers, where him and Yamamoto went head to head. That's the Imanaga that I seen pitch in the NPB. You know, I am truly surprised on how well that he's doing in the major leagues. He's doing great. I'm totally happy for him. He's a great pitcher. He's seems like a great human being. During the World Baseball Classic again, during the Olympics, he was not one of the top starters. He was a number 4, number 5. You know, it went Yamamoto, Otani, Sasaki, and then Imanaga. So I mean, like I said, I'm really surprised at him, and like I said, I'm totally happy for him. But I think the Dodgers made the better signing for Yamamoto, and like you're saying, it's going to pay off a lot more, in years to come. You know, yes, it has taken Yamamoto a little bit longer to adjust, and the injury didn't help him out any. But I think next year, he's going to have it all dialed in, and he's going to be out and come out and be like the number 1 or number 2 pitcher for the Dodgers, for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you as well. Everything about Yamamoto that I've seen, especially after that start against the San Diego Padres in Korea, it's been pretty much elite. I got to see him up close
Mm-hmm.
and personal at the beginning of the season against Washington, where he made one of his best starts of his career, where he went like I believe 7 innings that day. Everything you know that you mentioned about Imanaga has actually translated to the MLB. His home runs
Mm-hmm.
per 9 innings is still kind of high. It's higher than Yamamoto's. Imanaga gives up, a home run and a half per 9 innings compared to Yamamoto having a 0.7. Yamamoto's struggled a little bit with command. He walks a little bit more batters, but he still has better strikeout stuff. He has better velocity. His ERA plus is better. His ERA is lower, despite the sample size. Obviously, it's different. But even Yamamoto only having 16 games started compared to Imanaga's 8 or 28. In on Baseball Reference WAR, Yamamoto has 2 and Imanaga has 2.8. So like,
Mm-hmm.
if say you stretch that out for a whole season for Yamamoto, you're talking about like a 4.5 WAR for a starting pitcher in his rookie year. That's up there. It's getting in the discussion of Rookie of the Year territory, where he being put in the same discussion as Jackson Merrill, Paul Skeens, and all these other guys. So I think it's just a thing about misfortune, considering the injury that happened, because Yamamoto was pitching along the lines of saying, hey, especially in the summer, especially after that Yankees start, you were saying, all right, this guy may be the ace of the staff right now, his rookie year.
Hmm.
And I think another thing that Imanaga has going for him is that you can't bet against the veteran. You know, he is 5 years older. He's 30 years old. He's
Yep.
throwing the ball. He knows his body better than, anybody. And Yamamoto is still working. He's still a young guy. He's still working to realize, the limitations of his body, how far he can go, where he needs to be a pitcher that makes, 25 to 30 starts a season. And it just didn't happen in year one. And fortunate for him is that once he gets, potentially one more start, one more tune-up start to get ready for October, where it really matters, where he really makes the money is October. If he can give the Dodgers at least one start per series, if they ended up going on a championship run, the Dodgers will 100% take that right now because of, what's happened to their starting rotation. But I think in the long run, and even this year, I would rather have Yamamoto because I think Yamamoto is better built for October as well because he's got the velocity and he's got the strikeout stuff. And that's two things the Dodgers have lacked in the postseason. They haven't had a guy that can, throw a fastball by you and then get you on a strikeout where, they've been throwing Kershaw out there with his, 89, 90 mile per hour fastball. Bobby Miller just didn't have command last year. Lance Lynn, Homer happy Lance Lynn. We saw what happened with that.
Hmm.
Even with the Dodgers' diminished rotation, I still have a lot of confidence in Yamamoto, even if he only gives you 5 innings. Like, I feel like I would be fine with that. Let the Dodgers bullpen, which is the best bullpen they've probably had in a while, let them take care of the rest, and then you hope the offense continues their hot streak. Because, guys, if the offense doesn't show up at all, they're not winning anyway.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised if Yamamoto goes more than 5 innings. I'll be surprised if he pitches less than 5 innings. He's used to pitching up, 8, 9 innings a game. Throwing 123, 130 pitches, in a game, especially in series, that count, and for championship times. You don't become a 5-time All-Star, a 3-time Japanese Triple Crown winner, a 3-time, Pacific League Golden Glove Award winner, and a 4-time Pacific League ERA champion, in the NPB, and that's what the guy is. He's dominant. He's This was his very first. I shouldn't say his very first injury, but this is probably his first major injury and adversity that he's had to go through, in his career so far. So yeah, he's going to have to make some adjustments. That's there. And Managa does not have those types of accolades. Sasaki comes a little bit closer to Yamamoto in regards to those accolades. And yes, I hear people go, well, the NPB is is a lot different than the MLB, and come on, man. They're professional baseball players. You know, if the NPB was so bad, why are they winning the World Baseball Classic? Almost every year.
Yeah.
Against major league players. And dominating. So so that's
Yeah,
just.
I agree with that.
I'm not trying to be like I, I've been writing about the guy for a few years. I'm on board with him. I know what he can do. It's sometimes it's a little frustrating when you talk to people that don't know or seen him pitch, except in the major leagues. So it's a little frustrating sometimes. So
Yeah, I agree with that because even Trevor Plouffe, who does baseball commentary for Talking Baseball, John Boy Media, all the shows there, he said it's a lot closer than what people think. Like
oh yeah.
the NPB is like very, very close in terms of major league talent, where they could beat a lot of those AAA minor league teams. They could beat probably a couple major league teams if you want to be honest. So the talent is there, especially over the last probably 15, 20 seasons. It's been astronomically high, and they have dominated the international sphere. And
Hmm.
they the passion that they have, especially for the big moments. This is why I really am excited to see Otani get in the postseason for the first time and Yamamoto get a chance to kind of carry the team on his back, because I just feel like they were built for it. They knew what they signed up for, and I think that's kind of what us Dodger fans are just hoping for right now. Especially, we got a couple games left of the regular season until we finally get to see them in the postseason.